All right, good evening, everybody. I see people are still joining. We are going to be recording this session, so it will be available at a later date for those that can't make it or are busy driving. Very pleased to invite you to tonight's CPD. It is about CPD compliance, so we know we need to record CPDs with SAPC. So Laurentia is going to take us through how to record a CPD with SAPC. She's then going to give an example of what her platform can provide. It's a short and sweet CPD and is set out in a way that it's easy for you to upload. And she'll be introducing her platform, and then we'll have time for a Q&A. What I would like to do now is a poll. Can you see that poll? PJ, can you see a poll?
No, Jackie.
No, Jackie.
No, Jackie, I'm looking for it.
Just the first screen, the introductory screen of your presentation.
Yes. Okay, that's why. All right, let me do that again. So I need to do it on which screen? And then the poll should just come up.
No, it's not there, Jackie. Or is it maybe the second slide? I don't know.
It should come as an overlay on the. Let me just try once more. Maybe it's here. Yes, okay, here we go.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so if you guys could, it's anonymous, so don't worry. If you can complete it, there's 2 questions there, and I'm going to give you a few minutes just to fill it in, and then we'll have a good idea of how much help you actually need. So I'm hoping Laurentia is back and she can have a look and see exactly where we are. Okay, I've got 23 of 29. Anybody else? I'll give you a few more seconds. 86% have participated. Okay, great. I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to share the results. So we have got only 15% of the people online tonight have actually done their 6 CPDs for the year. And of those, 26% have done none, 9% 1, 9% 2, 26% 3, so you're halfway, 13% 4, 9% 5, and only 9% of people have actually done their CPDs. So guys, we are halfway through October. We need to get these CPDs done. So I think this is an excellent CPD for the evening. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing and I am going to introduce Laurentia Struwig, who is going to tell us all about CPDs. Laurentia, please go ahead.
Can I go, Jackie?
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, sure. Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much to Jackie for inviting me and that I can share this evening with you. So without further ado, let me share my screen with you and let's start with the CPD.
Did you see our poll, Laurentia?
Sorry?
Did you see the poll?
Yes, I was here. I
So
was
we
here,
need,
thank you.
we need your help.
No, definitely we do. We know this is a big challenge for everybody because everybody is so busy and this is last on the mind. Jackie, can I just ask how many people we've got online?
So, Laurentia, at the moment, we have got almost 40, but we are
Okay.
recording it because a lot of people
Okay.
can't, they're still in their pharmacies. So we have a
Yeah.
CPD on demand.
Exactly, no problem. Do you see my screen and everything? Can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, guys, so welcome to ANRAF Knowledge Hub Online Academy. This is me, and I offer you education that's straightforward, adaptable, and effective, and it's created with busy professionals in mind, specific pharmacists. So tonight we will be conducting a CPD session focused on CPDs themselves. And I'm going to start off with the importance of CPDs. So we all know that council require that we do a minimum of 6 CPDs per year, and we just saw how few of us actually did do those already. And non-compliance in this may result in penalties and or deregistration. And then you need to pay a penalty and you need to register all over again. And I'm sure that one or two of us already experienced that previously. On top of that, there's also operational risk for pharmacies. If any of their healthcare professionals are not registered. So, for instance, if a pharmacist is deregistered from council and there's an insurance claim or an indemnity claim or a civil claim due to a mistake that somebody made, then that insurance may not pay out. So it's a huge risk for the pharmacy and for the pharmacist if there's non-compliance and they are deregistered from council. I just also need to mention that council does not accredit specific CPD training providers. They do accredit other courses like the pharmacist assistant course and vaccination courses, etc., but not CPD activities. So CPD activity may include attending a training session like tonight, reading an article, watching an educational video, etc. And the topics can cover anything from clinical, ethical, health, operational, management and leadership, product knowledge or product training. Any of those areas can be covered. And then just a new thing from council is that very soon it's also going to be compulsory for the pharmacist assistants as well. So we expect that to happen early in 2026, as well as for our nursing professionals. So any of us that's got clinics in the pharmacy with a sister or a nursing professional, it's going to become compulsory for them as well. And the same thing goes for if they're not registered. So what are the challenges that pharmacists encounter in completing their CPDs? Most of it is limited time because we are all so busy due to busy schedules. We've got difficulty in finding suitable CPD materials that are both practical and well structured. There's also uncertainty about documenting the CPD activity on the SAPC portal. Guys, we recently moved to Mossel Bay, and I'm so used now to speaking Afrikaans all the time. So please excuse me if I mispronounce a word or two here and there, because this was something to get used to talking in Afrikaans all the time again. And then lastly, some people also got limited access to computers or laptops, and they have challenges with mobile application for completing their CPDs. So how is tonight going to work? We are going to simulate the whole CPD process. So firstly, I'm going to start off by showing you exactly how to record the CPD activity on the website, on the council's website. Then we are going to go through a very condensed CPD version of the Pharmacy Month 2025 topic. That was my latest topic on my Academy Knowledge Hub, and I just condensed it and just looking at the highlights of that CPD article. Thereafter, we're going to conclude with an overview of the ANMAF Knowledge Hub, which is the solution to pharmacists' CPD challenges. So let's start with capturing a CPD. The biggest challenge that we encounter is not people are not doing the training or not doing the training, but they do not follow through and capture it on council site after they've done the training. So many of you will sit here tonight, go through the CPD or watch it later, and then you've done your training, but you will capture it later. And then that later is normally by the 31st of December, and then we crash the council's website because everybody wants to lock these six CPDs on the same day. So following is a step-by-step guide to capture the CPD training at the council site. And if you want to, at the site, open the council's website and follow the procedure, you can do it, and then you can have one CPD captured and down as we're going along. So we log into the Pharmacy Council site as a registered person, and the web address is www.pharmcouncil.co.za. Looks like that. And you log in, and you click on the registered person icon on the left. Then you enter your PIN number, your passport, ID number, your passport number, and your password. And obviously, we all should be registered here. You enter. Whenever you open or log into the Pharmacy Council, it always opens at the contact information page, which you need to either update if it changed or confirm your details that it is correct at the right-hand corner down at the bottom. So we are going to confirm details are correct, and then we're going to capture the CPD. So how do we go about that? We click on the CPD tab in the menu on the left of the screen. As we're going along, the menu on the left of the screen will display all the time, and on the screen that we are at, it will be highlighted in dark blue. Then the dashboard menu is going to open, and you must ensure you have an updated annual declaration for the current year. Now, I think, Jackie, if I'm correct, the poll showed that 26 people didn't capture a CPD as yet. Now, before you can capture a CPD, was that correct, Jackie?
Correct.
Okay. So before you can capture a CPD, you need to do your annual declaration for the current year. So this is what happens on the left-hand side. It's the menu, the dashboard, and it welcomes you, and you need to now go to the next screen, which is your annual declaration. Now, for us who did do that, you will see that there's my annual declarations of the last few years, and my year is 2025. And from there, you can move on to capturing your CPD, or you can now do your declaration if you didn't do it yet. So this is what your declaration screen looks like. You've got an employment section, a domain competency section, which is 6 pages, and the assessment criteria. So first of all, you start with your scope of practice, and you complete those, and then you click on the continue button at the bottom. So our area is community pharmacy. You say if you're full-time, part-time, or whatever, and your sector of practice is community pharmacy. Then you move on, and there's 6 pages of these questions, which all got a drop-down menu which you just select. I spent some time doing it, I spent most of my time doing this, or I spent no time doing this. You do it for all 6 pages, keep on clicking on the continue button, and at the end of that, you agree to the annual declaration statement that you are a practicing pharmacist. So you agree by clicking on that agree button, because according to my annual declaration, I'm a practicing pharmacist. And then you review the assessment criteria and you click I accept at the right-hand bottom to complete your declaration. And once you've done that, your annual declaration is ready and done, and you can continue with capturing your CPDs. Now, if you look at the left-hand bottom, there, the next step is reflection. And second from the bottom is a 2-step CPD activity. Now, that 2-step CPD activity is a short way of capturing it. So it's only 2 pages, where the one that the full one that starts at reflection goes from reflection to planning, to implementing, to evaluation. So that's a bit longer, that's 4 pages. But unfortunately, we only allowed 3 of those 2-step CPD activities. So I'm going to start with the longer one, the reflection one, and then we're going to end with the 2-step activity. So now we are at reflection, and then it shows you how many CPDs you already submitted for the year and what the topics are. Okay, so it shows you those, and then you click on identifying a new learning need, the top blue button. Then your reflection screen opens and you start entering your domain. Now for the CPD tonight, there's a drop-down menu in each block with a whole lot of options. If you do a clinical health CPD, for instance, you might choose public health. If you do a leadership or a management one, you do that. But for this one, I selected professional and personal practice, which is number 5. Then your domain competency is ethical and legal practice, because it's a compulsory thing for the at council to log this. Then your reflection title is a CPD on CPDs. The learning trigger, there's again a drop-down menu and you can select your learning trigger. I selected competencies. And your learning relation, current role, future role, or whatever, our current role. And then the learning initiation, you also select, was it down from your management, was it peer review, or was it yourself? So I selected myself. And then you describe the learning need. Why are you doing this? And I chose to put, I need to understand the process for recording my CPDs to ensure compliance with council requirements. You've got 899 characters remaining, which you can fill in that block. As soon as you're done, you click on the Save button, and then a screen will come up, yes or no to proceed to planning. So you just click on yes, and then the planning screen opens. So what you typed in the first page is now reflecting or is pre-populated at the top of your planning page. So the title, the domain, and what we are doing. Now, mode of learning. Now, in this case, it's non-measurable because we are just doing a presentation. You are not writing a test. If you did a CPD through my ANMAF Knowledge Hub, it will be measurable, but you select from the drop-down menu. So in this case, we're going to select non-measurable. And the primary activity is there's an option that says breakfast meeting, presentations, or journal club. So we select that one because this is a presentation. Now, for instance, if the CPD is done through the academy, you will select the option of other, and then you must specify what you did. And then you will say, I accessed an article on ANMAF Knowledge Hub, online training platform, complete a competency quiz, and subsequently obtain an online certificate of competency, or whatever you did. So you put that in there. And briefly describe first of all, the start and the end date. Sometimes when you do training, you can do a whole course and it might spread over several days. But this is just a 1 day, 1 hour thing. So you just select the 2 dates of today and briefly describe the reasoning behind this planning. I need to stay informed about all council procedures and requirements relevant to my profession. Then you click on save and yes to proceed to implementation. Then the implementation page opens. At the top again, everything is pre-populated what you completed so far. Now the duration of the activity, it can be less than 30 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes, or whatever. You select it from the drop-down menu. Achievement date, the date that you completed the CPD, and describe what you have done. I attended an online presentation on a CPD, on CPDs, hosted by the ICPA. If you did another CPD, say for instance on the Knowledge Hub, you will say that access an article on the ANMAF Knowledge Hub and complete a questionnaire. Okay? And then we click on save again. Now, previously, you just had to select yes to proceed to evaluation. But when I made the screenshots, I noticed that the screen reverts back to my submissions menu, and then the CPD appears as incomplete. Can you see there on the screenshots? It says incomplete, and then it says the topic. So to continue, you open that incomplete topic, and you click on the proceed to evaluation button. Now, I don't know if this is a permanent thing, because when last month when I did my CPD, it was still yes to proceed to evaluation, but now it reverted to this. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be like this in future. But anyway, both of them are there. Both of them takes you to the same page. So this is the incomplete screen that you open, and then you proceed to evaluation. And then you submit your CPD for compliance. So you selected the title is pre-populated. You say if your learning objective is met, fully or partially or whatever. Where do you apply the learning? In my workplace or outside my workplace? Select your year of compliance. It will automatically go to 2025 and describe what you have learned. I learned how to correctly record and submit a CPD on the council's portal. But in this case, you're not going to click save. This is important here. You're not going to click save now. You're going to say submit for compliance. The second button that's highlighted here in blue. Okay, because you're done now. So you're going to submit it for compliance. And when you submitted it for compliance, it appears on your screen of all your CPDs that's successfully been submitted. And that's that. Then you log out. And you're back to that screen. So if we want to do it, just quickly going to show you the 2-step CPD. So you log in again as a registered person and you select your 2-step CPD activity. And this is now the shorter version where you only do 2 pages. So your title, pharmacy. For this one, I selected Pharmacy Month. Pharmacy Month, the domain in this case is public health. The domain competency is professional and health advocacy. I just changed this so that you can see the different options that you can select from the drop-down menu. Mode of learning, I chose the Knowledge Hub. So this one is measurable, where the previous one was non-measurable. Primary activity is others. If it gives you an option to specify, you specify what you did, and then you click on go to step 2. And step 2, you complete the duration of the activity, the date, describe what you have done, access an article on ANMAF Knowledge Hub, complete a competency quiz, and receive a certificate of competency. Learning objective met fully, applied it in my workplace. Describe what you have learned. In this case, I've come to understand how the 2025 Pharmacy Month theme, Think Health, Think Pharmacy, One Profession, Many Roles, that is the theme, provides an opportunity to create awareness of the variety of critical roles pharmacists play in South Africa's healthcare system. And then again, don't click Save, but click Submit for compliance. It will take you back to your confirmation screen or your compliance screen, and you make sure that it is successfully submitted and you can log out. I highlighted my 3 2-step CPD activities to just show you that when you open your screen and you've already done those 3 2-step CPDs, don't even attempt to redo it, because you're going through the whole page and at the end it's just going to say to you, you're only allowed 3 of them. So after you've done 3 of them, you need to do the full one from reflection. And then you log out. And that's that. Okay. Are there any questions on that, or shall we do the questions all at the end, Jackie?
I think let's do them all at the end, Laurentia.
Okay. I'm going to continue. So this is very short, guys. I'm just going to talk you through it very shortly, because actually the CPD is about CPDs. So the 2025 theme for Pharmacy Month is Think Health, Think Pharmacy, One Profession, Many Roles. It was spearheaded by National Department of Health, SAPC, PSSA, and ICPA. It emphasizes the wide range of responsibilities and services that pharmacists offer, and it acknowledges pharmacists as the frontline healthcare providers who offer crucial services in diverse settings, from hospitals to community pharmacies. And for this presentation, we are understanding the vital role of the community pharmacy pharmacist. So historically, the role of the pharmacist was linear. The approach was reactive and often led to early death, as there was often no follow-up. So the patient got sick, went to the doctor prescribed, go to the pharmacy, get the medication, and that was the end of it. A modern-day pharmacists provide, amongst others, preventative care, medication management, dispensing, educating patients, counseling. We do screenings, we do patient education, we do community health care, often in underserved areas. We're accessible point of contact for patients. We collaborate with pharmacy partners like pharmaceutical companies, doctors, patient support programs, medical aid funders, etc. So the role of the modern day pharmacist is circular and proactive, leading to longevity. So it starts in the pharmacy, it ends in the pharmacy. So step 1 is the pharmacy. We often do screening and collecting clinical data. I mean, last week If I'm not mistaken, you had your Discovery Vitality CPD. So we do screenings, we look after our patients. If there's something, if we pick up something wrong, we refer the patient to the prescriber. The doctor makes the diagnosis and he gives the treatment script. Patient comes back to the pharmacy, we issue the medication, we counsel the patient, and we consult them on their compliance. And then also we follow up, we monitor the compliance, and we refer to the prescriber again if needed. This is just a short slide to show you how our digital words simplify the interaction between the different healthcare role players. We've got telehealth consultations via the doctor and the prescriber, the pharmacy and the prescriber. We've got biometric data switching. That is there where you do those vitality checks and screening checks and send the data, the biometric data, to the medical aids or wherever. We do the financial switching where we claim our scripts. We do the digital pathology results, and we do e-scripting. So what are the benefits of a pharmacy clinic? I just very shortly want to touch on this. We can review the current patient population and encourage them to make use of the clinic to boost our turnover. Guys, all existing patients represent potential clinic users. The babies can do vaccinations, the adults can do screening tests, and we can eliminate the need for costly marketing efforts. Clinical services are not limited by SEP, and they yield a much higher GP margin than prescriptions. And these services also promote repeat visits to the pharmacy with additional business opportunities. Private patients, as well as our own staff, can receive timely care by appointment, avoiding long waits at public hospitals or clinics. So, an employer of, for instance, a domestic worker will much rather make an appointment at the pharmacy clinic for some help and pay cash for it than sending their people for a day or even two to a public hospital or a clinic. And lastly, it's customer collaboration map between all the healthcare professionals. This is a very, very busy slide, but I'm just going to shortly or quickly explain what's cooking here. So we've got three kinds of customers. It's the inner customer, which is me or myself, the internal customers, which are the pharmacy staff or our colleagues, and the external customers, which can be a patient support program, medical aid funder, the whole pharmacy hub with a clinic, pharmaceutical company, a doctor, etc. And as you can see, they all interact with each other as well as with the pharmacy. Everything is interactive and collaborated. So the inner customer, we need to value ourselves, we need to stay balanced and deliver our best. Because a happy inner customer gives a happy external customer and internal customer. Our internal customers, we support our college, we share our knowledge, we keep SOPs current so that anybody can know what's cooking in all of the departments and we can support each other. And then our external customers, patients, they must just adhere to their treatment. We engage with them, we refer them, and we strengthen their pharmacy ties. Prescribers, they diagnose, they prescribe, they collaborate with the patient support programs, with pharmacies to make sure they give the best care for their patients. Pharmaceutical companies, they ensure compliance with SAHPRA and pharmacovigilance. Ooh, that's a big word for me, guys. Promote their products, they support us and supply access to their products. medical aids or funders. They approve, they authorize the medication, they reimburse us and the other healthcare providers, and they partner across the care chain. And then PSPs, patient support programs, those are the things like cancer, the Diabetics Association, etc. They drive adherence, they link patients with prescribers and pharmacies. And then our pharmacy hub, which include our clinic or any other services that we might have on site. We are there to prevent, to dispense, to counsel, to collaborate, and to just deliver excellence and look after our patients. And that's that. As far as the pharmacy, this is a very high, just points of the pharmacy month presentation. And now I would like to introduce you to my Knowledge Hub. It was established in April of this year, and it's a platform focused on practical impactful learning. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself here, and I'll tell you the reason why. I'm an SAPC registered pharmacist and assistant, and assessor with a strong background in training, coaching, and mentoring. Up to March this year, I was a senior manager of knowledge management in my establishment. I've got extensive experience in pharmacy operations and management. I held leadership roles as a GM and an ops manager in private and corporate pharmacy groups. Our pharmacy was awarded the Pharmacy of the Year for mega pharmacies in 2002. And I use Knowledge Hub to share the industry experience aimed at improving efficiency, employee development, and business growth. Now you will ask, what's special? There's nothing special about this. It can be any one of your bios, but that's exactly the point. Since I was a schoolgirl of 17 years old, I've been working in school and varsity holidays up to March this year in pharmacy. So I know exactly what it is, how busy it is. I know about 12-hour shifts where you're the only pharmacist, where you can't even go out of the pharmacy, when your only break is when you got a bathroom break. I know about the stress of trying to get everything done, plus looking at the tutor, plus getting home, because lots of you are still on the road at 7 o'clock in the evening, but at home you've got children waiting that needs help with their schoolwork and those kind of things, and you need to prepare supper, and there's a whole private life happening there around you. So that's the reason why I'm showing you this very ordinary bio, because I'm just experienced all of that through my career. And that's why I started ANMATH Knowledge Hub. And my slogan, where knowledge meets experience. Because I experienced all of this, I could develop a training hub that can accommodate you and that can help you to take care of your CPDs without all the excessive stress. So, not enough hours in the day? Know the struggle of balancing work, family, and professional growth while still needing to complete your compulsory CPD courses. That's why we created short, high-impact CPDs designed to fit into your busy life. It's fast, it's practical, it's instantly usable. You can master a CPD in just 30 minutes during a coffee or a lunch break. You can walk away with knowledge you can apply immediately. Effortless CPD logging. We take the pain out of compliance with the council because every course comes with a step-by-step logging template. So you can record your CPDs quickly, simple, and stress-free. If you don't have a laptop, access courses conveniently through the user-friendly Moodle app on your mobile device. Your annual subscription includes 12 CPD courses over a full calendar year, where 6 courses are available at all times. So there will be a new course every month, but 6 courses will be available throughout the year. So when I add the 7th course, the first course falls away. It's unlimited access for pharmacists, assistants, and nursing professionals. And the content is designed to support your professional development and council compliance. So stay compliant, learn smarter, not longer, advance your career on schedule. The subscription, if you join this year still, for those guys that didn't lock any CPDs, you can even join in November and you will still have an opportunity to complete 6 CPDs. You can join our platform family today with the following link, anmaf.co.za to subscribe. And after subscription, you will receive an email with your login details to the site, which is knowledgehub.anmaf.co.za. And the fees for 2026, if you want to join next year, it will be 750 Rand a year. So guys, that's about 60-something Rand a month. And then you can have your CPD compliance. So steps to utilize the Academy, you enter your username and password, you select your training topic, you open the article, video, presentation, and read it or look at it, or you open and do your quiz. When you're competent, you receive a certificate of competency. You view it, you can download it, or you can proceed to info to load CPD. And you open the document and you follow the step to capture the CPD on the SAP website. You log out and you receive a certificate through the mail. So now I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to log into my Knowledge Hub to show you how to work what the Knowledge Hub looks like. So let me just quickly stop sharing. Okay, share. Okay, so you log into the Knowledge Hub and you can see there, can you see it, Jackie?
Yes, I can see World Malaria Day.
Okay, so the 6 courses currently available is World Malaria Day. What I do here is I follow the National Department of Health calendar. I choose one topic and the theme for the current year, and we develop the CPD on that. So anti-tobacco campaign, Men's Health, World Population Day, National Women's Day, and Pharmacy Month. The 3 that's still there, but that's already fell off now or been archived, was World Obesity Day, Reproductive Health, and effect of UV on skin and eyes. So you select your CPD, you open it, and you read it. If you look at the article, there's a toggle full screen mode, which you just open, and you read your article. Some of the articles, sometimes it's just a video, some might have a video inside, and this is the one that I just gave you a short overview on, and all my training has got the references at the bottom. When you're done, you just toggle it again. Where is my screen now? Sorry, I've got too many things here. So now I can't get to my page. I need to.
The bar at the top, you should be able to move, Laurentia.
Okay. There. Oh, come on. It keeps on dropping over. Okay, there. So we just make it small again. When you're done, you proceed to the quiz. And you do your quiz. It tells you how many attempts you've got and that you need 3 out of 5. The maximum will be a questionnaire of 10. So you do the quiz. It's very simple. It's true or false. So I'm just going to quickly do this because I see the time. I don't even know what, and you finish the attempt and you submit all and finish. Now I've got 4 out of 5. It will tell you how many you've got. And then when you scroll down, you go to Certificate of Competency, which you can view or download. But you don't need to do this because it's going to be mailed to you anyway. But this is what it looks like. I don't want to open Acrobat. And oh, this thing is in my way again. I'm wasting time here. Okay, and then info to load on the CPD website. And again, you get a page where it takes you through all the steps. Can you see there in red? It shows you exactly what you need to select and type and suggest step by step everything that we went through just now. And when you're done with that, you're done. You can go back to home or you can log out. And that's it. If you want to see I don't think there's time now to show you how to subscribe, but what I'll do is I've got screenshots as well to support you with that. So if you're interested, Jackie, I can mail it to you afterwards if somebody's interested, but it's very simple. You just log in to that ANMath website, which I gave the link there, and then you subscribe.
Perfect.
And pay your 500 Rand.
Yeah. What we'll do, Laurentia, we will put it out together with this recording. We'll put the link to the website. I see somebody says he's already registered, so you've already got somebody new.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stop my video now.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Laurentia, thanks very much. There are a couple of questions. So there's a question from Shushu. And this is when you've finished your 4th step. And she says, this is when you're recording your CPD on the council portal.
Yeah.
She says, I thought you click save first before you submit. Don't you run a risk of losing the information if you click submit first, if there's a power failure or load shedding while you're still busy completing the CPD?
You probably can. I just never did it. It's just the way that I submit for compliance. I presume you're right. So after each page, you can click save, because you can always go back and redo it. Because if you saved and say there's a power, or maybe you're doing it while you're busy working after hours, and now suddenly a customer is coming in, and you go out and you go in again, you just open the incomplete CPD. Whatever, after each page where you click save, it will save it as incomplete. So if you didn't click save at the last page, you will just lose that last page.
Okay.
You won't lose everything that you've done before.
Okay, super. And I think as well, Laurentia, on the pharmacy app on our phones, you can actually do your CPDs on the phone as well, which is very easy for the 2-step. You literally could have done 3 CPDs tonight while you were watching. Let's see if there are any other questions. Just a very important thing, I think, Laurentia, is that submit. And I know why you're saying it's so important to click on the submit for compliance, because we've had so many pharmacists that do the CPD, they've saved it, but they don't submit for compliance. And then we come to the 31st of December and they give you that little bit, I think it's now till the 28th of Feb. They give you a bit of lead time, and suddenly you get a letter from council to say that you haven't submitted your 6 CPDs. And it's it's quite a difficult thing. You can then show them that it was there and that you just forgot to submit for compliance, but it is a painful process to go through. Anybody who's tried to phone council will know that.
Guys, that's the thing. Sorry, Jackie, I just want to comment on that. That is the thing. If you save it there, but you didn't submit, it sits there as incomplete. And that is why I say on my template, make sure that it's been submitted for compliance before you log out. That's your second last step before you log out. It reverts to that compliance page, and you must make sure nothing sits there as incomplete before you log out.
Absolutely. And are there any questions? Just pop your hand up, or you can just start talking. You can put it into the chat if you don't want to speak. But something that Pharmacy Council does as well is that you're supposed to submit your annual declaration by the end of January. If you don't, they will auto-designate you as practicing or non-practicing. If the previous year you did do CPDs, they will auto select you to practicing. And then, Laurentia, as you were saying, if you don't do your CPDs, what happens at the end of the year when they come to do the auto designation, they make you non-practicing. And that's when your problems start. If you are an RP or a tutor, legally they can't make you non-practicing. But what they do there is they refer you to Pharmacy Council, to the Professional Conduct Unit, and you end up with a hefty fine and possible being struck off the register. So yeah, have we got any questions? Come on, PJ, you must have a question.
I'm actually in a very noisy place at the moment. Sorry.
Okay. We'll forgive you then. I did see there are a few things in the chat. Let me just open it. I saw something flash up. Okay. So it says there, thank you very much for a wonderful app. At last, something to support the pharmacists. Oh, there is a question. Is there an ICPA special rate?
Yes, that 500 Rand.
There we go. Thank you.
The normal price is 750. If you guys join anytime this year, it will be 500 Rand.
Lovely. And for that 500 Rand, we're getting a bargain because you can get your 6 CPDs for this year, and you can quickly get your 6 CPDs in for next year as well. So that's a real bargain.
And yeah, I'm not going to give you, you need to re-register in 2026. That's why there's only 6 CPDs at a time.
Okay.
But Jackie, just on that point, do you remember the first time when they made it compliant? They gave us up to April to complete it. Then this year they gave us up to February. So I don't know how long they're going to keep on giving us leniency into the next year. So I think we must get used to doing it in the same year.
You've got to do it in the same year. So
because
they've taken
next
a
year
decision.
When the assistants, next year when it's compulsory for the assistants, they're going to be so busy that I don't think they're going to have the time and that to have it spread over a calendar year.
Yeah. What they found, Laurentia, is that by having it until the 1st of May, too many people were selecting the wrong year. Because, you've got that thing where you can select the year. So what they've done is it is now the 28th of Feb, but it'll stay there. There will always be that 2-month lead time, but it is important to try and get it done in the year, because we all know January and then February stock take, and before you know it, you've missed the deadline. And anybody who's had the letter from council, first of all, to go from non-practicing to practicing is quite a mission. And if you are an RP or a tutor and you end up at CPI, it's 1,000 Rand per CPD, plus you get your cost order. And I know that they were talking about making it 5,000 Rand per CPD that you haven't done. So guys, you must do your CPDs.
Yeah,
Please
no,
do.
that's
And you saw how
terrible.
easy it was.
Yeah, I really, Jackie, I try to make it as easy as possible. I try to, whenever I develop a training, that the maximum will take you half an hour. I mean, like I say, I've been there. I know how limited people's time are. So some of them are really even shorter. But you should be
Absolutely.
able to do the whole tutti plus capturing it within 30 minutes.
Okay. So Laurentia, I think we had 50 people on the CPD. It has been recorded as well. Thank you so much for a wonderful session. You've really shown us how simple it is to do a CPD. And I don't have any more hands up here. So I don't know, Mebub, are you still driving? Are you able to close up, or should I ask one of the other directors?
Thanks, Jackie. I actually pulled off on the side at the engine, and I
He
registered,
knew.
and I've got my password, and I'm logged in. So thank you very much. You know, Rumi says whoever travels without a guide needs 200 years to do a 2-day journey. And I think it's important for us to get this kind of guidance and easy ways to do things because we only have so many hours in a day.
Yes.
And so thank you to all the guests and to ICPA for setting that up. And I'm sure the members will take the offer up. I certainly have. I've already registered and I can probably finish all my CPDs tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Laurentia, and thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thanks for having me.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a good evening.